hearth is lit and it's time to forge you yet another stream, and today we have a very, very special stream indeed, as this will be our first ever creative stream. That's right, there's no video games and video games or whatever you want to call it going on today. We're just gonna kick back, relax, do a little bit of 3D modeling. Now, I put a line out on Twitter about this. I was thinking about doing 3D modeling on stream or creative or something of the design process for a while now. First time I asked it, not much feedback. About, I want to say 2-3 weeks ago, I dropped the line again. And there seemed to be a little bit of interest in it. So we've actually got a suggestion for today on what we're going to be designing. Nothing to show in this corner today because there's apparently some weird OBS funkiness where if you have screen capture or game and window capture in the same scene, it's like totally bugs out OBS. So, blank over there. Oh well, that's fine. But without further ado, we will continue, should I say start, our new adventure in Inventor. A brand new scene, but we're not going to leave you hanging because we got some tunes in the background. Things are going to be slightly experimental with that on that note, because this is not only our first ever creative stream, but this will be the very first time we're using Pretzel on stream too. See you kicking on over there. So, before we get too deep into this, we need a little bit of background. If we can get this open here. This is the very tweet that I'm talking about. Or the thread, rather, of what we're going to be doing today. It started out with Spanish Vanguard, a very frequent resident of chat, suggesting that we model him a bat. No idea what kind. Turns out he wants the animal, but for extra points, we will be trying to put a hat and give the bat a baseball bat as well. Just for kicks. Now, this is going to be a very, very interesting design process with this too, because I work in a very industrial environment. So that means a lot of what I do is very rigid, very square, not very flowy and curvy, because it's kind of hard to manufacture unless you're like for 3D modeling or molding or somewhat. So this will be a learning experience for myself as well, as I'm not usually used to organics, but I know we can do it in here once we get ourselves up and going. Alright, so we have a much brighter stream than I'm used to too. So I've got a couple reference pictures up here too. I've marked up for a bat. See if we can get this going here. Trying not to cover chat too much or anything. Give me while I get this set up a little bit. Like I said, this is very impromptu. Alright, so we got our general dimensions of our bat. Or a ratio of it anyway. I'm gonna turn down Pretzel just a little bit. Right about there, maybe a little lower. Just to keep you in the background. Why don't you go even lower? That should be good. Alright. Where is my image? There it is. Okay. So I've got general dimensions of the bat to go with here. And we can figure out how big we want it. Let us start base rectangle. I don't really have a good inch size. This isn't going to be to scale, so we're just going to ratio. We can always technically scale up if we need to. So let's start this bat out with a 24-inch wingspan. And on the ratio of that to height, I'd call that maybe about 2 divided by 3. 2/3. Little smaller, actually. Call it, or otherwise known as a half. We can edit that as we need to. That was not my usual defaults, unfortunately, so it's very different from work. Make the bat a good chunk thick. Call them 4 inches and we'll cut away what we need to. Start on our shape of the bat. It might even behoove us, if I was able to put this reference on screen. Fortunately, I don't really have the time to deal with that. So, cut out our bat from here and get our general batty bat shape going. Call it there. A curve going other direction. Come on, you. We'll play around with those later. We'll get this mirrored on the other side too in a second. Bat has a tip to his wing. Ah. Not the arc. There. Hold there. One very narrow fold there. Continuing on. Same radius, almost. Those will be pretty much tangent to each other when we do that. Okay. Get some constraints going. So this will keep it separate, yet we can have a very slight curve to it. I'm not going to geometrically constrain that. Actual shape of the bat. It's more like a tangent circle, so I'm willing more to say we could smooth this out later, but that is not what I want you to do. There to here. Do this as a half. Keep a center line out here. We can do little details like the feet in a bit. Definitely want to use up the entire bit of the bat. Think about some of our constraints. We want these tangent as well, just a little curvature. Might need to mess with that actually. Oh no. Oh no. Think about this. I might need an intermediate point. I'll round that out later actually. Don't have to worry too much about that. We can get some ratios going here. Now the good, we do want that actually. The good thing about Inventor is it is a parametric modeling system, and what that means is you can set a dimension, and you can set everything as fractions of the dimension or functions of it, so as you change the size of everything, as long as you're thinking about how you're putting these ratios in, it should all scale pretty good together. We'll use these as our two references. 12 inches and the 24 that we had before. How should we do this? One thing I kind of want to do. Edge of the bat here definitely has a ratio to this. Somewhat like that. We're doing a half bat for now. This will be a function of you. Hold on. Might be better to say this divided by 2 is our half distance. Call it almost like 5/8 times 5/8. Yeah, of course that's gonna be a little funky. We will put the center on here to ensure that's there. This will be funky for a bit, but this definitely needs to be a little bigger. So call it 7/8 of half. Nope, not quite. 16, how about something like 11/16? Getting there. That looks pretty good. Okay, good. Got that. The tip of the wing. By 2. No. This would be like divided by 4 in this case. Yeah, because according on the bat, it's actually kind of high. We'll get the peak of this. Oh, no, we don't want a distance like that. Alright, now there is some funkiness when it comes to curves. About how we want to deal with them. Now, this is what I want to do here. I'll put a point here so I actually know where these are always. Start a little bit. That should not be a center line, it should just be construction. We can use this. This is divided by 4 over here, so we'll say this is divided by 4 similar height. But it needs to be a little lower. Actually a little bit higher even. So divided by 4 is a quarter. Call it times like that. Nope, a little too big. Oh, dear God. That's not right. Times... So I tried times 4 and that's too much. 3 is a half. Okay, so that's getting too big at that point. What we really need to do is say like 7. Maybe just go back to this. And might be able to just manipulate where that point goes. That's divided by 2. Call it divided by 3. No, too much. Let's see, times 2/3. That's a decent ratio. I know there's much more organic ways to go through this process, but this is just how I tend to think. It's a lot more structured with numbers and alike. We can still play with their curves as we need to. Okay, good. Make this peak equal to that. Maybe even about 2/3 of that. I think that's nice. Just getting the height. That could be equal. This should be closer to the bottom. So we're gonna call this point also at 3. That's still within, but gives us a little bit of room. Oh, no you don't. You could still play with that curvature nicely. Good. What's the next step? This peak down here is pretty low. Oh, because it's also constrained that way, the way I did it. Its wings are very small compared to its body right now. Definitely very small compared to its body. We'll make sure that this... It'd be nice if that was perpendicular to a line. You are not supposed to be a center line. Alright, so we'll make this perpendicular to control that a little better. Yeah, we'll definitely need a radius there. Very strange little bats. Now the feet of the bat actually come down like they're just little squares, and we can round that off later. Oh, you don't. Take you, bring you down to the end. Unfortunately, we've left those on. Bring you here. Bring you up here. Put a little curvature on you. Or there. Keep it smooth. Make these same height. Right there. Decent enough. We'll call this 1 inch of this. So this would be this divided by 24 in this case. Question cannot be evaluated. Okay, try that again. Try this divided by 24. Ah, numlock. Where'd your numlock go? There we go. That's not right. 1 inch. Okay. Interesting. Fortunately, updating things like that are kind of strange at times. 8.5. 1 inch. Still does it. Oh, it's looped in on itself, that's why. Okay. We'll fix that in a second. As long as we got something for a start. We'll call this half of that. He's got very, very little legs for a bat. Head is definitely too large still. So these wings could probably be better off maybe a little less. Oh man, because everything's parametric. We gotta anchor this down before anything. Something like that. We'll call this divided by 2 minus whatever we put in here. I think. Oh, that doesn't work. Temporary. That will be temporary then. We'll make it 11 inches just to contain that. If we do this divided by 5, it shouldn't have done that. Ah, it's this darn curve now. Very well. Have it your way. That for now. No, apparently that's too big. Put a radius on it for the time being. It's not what you want, huh? What's free then? Nothing should be free. Well, aside from that, but I want you on the low end anyway. One thing we could do on minus 0.25. Yeah, so it is this curvature here, so we're actually going to get rid of that for the time being since it's annoying. Just redo it. 5 by 5. Wow. Dang. I did not expect any of that to happen. Okay, so it's higher. So we can make you same height. We do want this to cape a little lower. Okay. So it's not too bad. It's fine caped like that, but this will be a little bit bigger. It's exponential. Good, so that's not bad. I don't actually know why we have a circle there. Almost better, actually. It seems like we need a bit more distance between these before we start. Something almost flat. Another radius. Just to make it a tight turn. Flat. And one more radius. This tangent to this. Okay then, do it the other way. You are tangent to you. You are tangent to you, and you are tangent to this. Everything goes to hell when I do that one for some reason. And this shall be tangent to this. I don't actually know where this came from. Might have been what was causing our problems, to be honest. This way we can actually... That should be tangent here. Okay, that's better. So now we can actually change the length of this to where we need to go. Might almost be better to just kind of lock these points where we need to go rather than start doing things like that. Just start this process of more like sculpting it. There, take that point, lock it. Starting to throw some of our parametric design out the window. Purely because it gets kind of difficult to do all these ratios and whatnot. Okay, so that constraint already exists. Good. Should be able to just manipulate, yeah, that to where it needs to go. Except that needs to be a little bit smoother. No, that's not working at all. That's just not working. Where's that dang constraint? Oh, it's gone already. Okay. You're a free little one. I think you're still 2 pieces. Yeah, you are. Okay. Just go back to constraining it this way. This. Darn you. Why do you do this to me? You know you could do that just fine. You choose not to. Please. Yes, good. Okay. Got this very steep curve for the time being, but we want it more like flat. Our main problem is it actually doesn't connect to the foot curved. So once again, I find myself deleting this arc. Might be better to just kind of move on to something else in the meantime. Change our design approach. Spend all this time doing those parameters and they actually end up messing with us. Going for something more organic after all, so parameters aren't going to always work. So we'll make this one locked for the time being, or better yet, just 1 inch. You know, I just had an even better idea. A different way to approach this. Hold on. I've been looking at this image the entire time, but there's a much better way to do this that doesn't involve me guessing at proportions. Sketch again. We'll actually put the image file on here. I can find where image is. We don't even need bat ratio, we can just put bat in here. Input from corner to corner. A little batty friend. It might even be better to strain you to the midpoint. It's close, actually. It's very close. Oh, you know as well as I do that that works. Don't even try to tell me that, inventor. And we shouldn't be able to change anything about that. We'll note that we need to add at least ½ inch each side. So about +1 inch. Oh, that's the ratio. It's messing me up, actually. 24. The ratio should probably be more like 12.5. It needs to get narrower. 11.5. Almost. I think more than anything, actually, we'd want. No, wait. We did want it bigger, so that the wings are almost at the edge. 12.75 should do it. Pretty darn close. Might take 1/8 out of there. Yeah, because then we get that tip going at least. Good. So take this, we can I would say decal it, but it's probably better to just start a brand new sketch now. We can use this image and trace it accordingly. Yeah, so I definitely see some different arcs that I wasn't expecting before. Start down here. Like that-ish. And like so. Yeah, this is working a lot better. Okay, we'll ground some of these points before we absolutely mess up. Ground, ground, ground. Ground that, and ground this. Start from this point again. So somewhere around here, we will have to note that there is... Oh, not quite. Not quite. Something more like here to here, because I see a slight curve. Here to here, there's a slight curve going upward there. Come on, you. You know you can do it. Mess with you later then if you're gonna be like that. Here to here. About there. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So we can always round these things out later. Let's take some grounding points. Good, good. It's just so we can mess with the curvature later, as long as we know we have this, we can mess with that. General shape of a bat. How strange. Very, very strange. I mean, we can even take this image now and flip it horizontally once we get something centered. Doesn't have to be perfect, just close enough. Project that. Get the center line here to here. So I will have to... I don't think I actually did anything with that. Just close enough on that. Comes to your little feet. Pretty much square, but not quite. Yeah, I'll have to mess with that a little more later. More like now, actually. We can even just put a radius on that. By locking this point down. Adding a little more curvature. Not perfect curvature, but enough to get a general shape. Good. Oh yeah, our ratio is like way off compared to this entire thing. Okay, that's fine. As long as we got something. Now we should be able to take everything from this side, mirror it. Find where the mirror tool is. Right there. Mirror line right here. Apply it. Done. Good. That's looking pretty good. For a start, of course. We gotta refine this. So, with that finished, take this. Should actually have a closed loop in here somewhere. There, wait, I see it. Come on, you. Trick is trying to get it. That, especially when you're working with such curves like this. That would be our bat. We do the intersection, leaves us with this very, very thick bat. Arguably too thick. Change you down to like 3 inches. Maybe again 2 inches. I say 2 inches would be pretty good. Cool, so we've got the cutout of our bat, and we're ready to start doing a little bit more detail work, I think. We'll start doing a lot of molding with this thing later, but for the time being, I know we can fix small little spots like this pretty easily. Well, like a 1/4 inch radius. Okay, maybe not that much. Call it 3/16. Good start. A little fillet to... Nope, not that edge. This one. So we can add the fillet. Same operation here. So we're actually going to start carving out what the body is out of this. This is where you will be valuable again. Kind of do it again. There to right here. It's the center. Ah, darn. Fortunately, I've picked center line still. You're still a center line, and I don't want that to be the case. There. Oh, come on, you. Here. Right. There. Right. Here. There to here. Unfortunately, I missed this one a bit. Too much. That. For radius. There to bring it down for the spine joint about there. About here. And then finally down here. This side. Similar. Like that. Almost the entire way, but not quite. Like this. Almost the same. That missed horribly. There. I do want you to stay tangent if I can help it. There, here, there with a little radius here. Oh wow, like no radius happened there. I don't even know if there's anything there. Just form an arc. Tangent arc. I have to ground that, aren't I? Oh no, I'll do that one. Oh, fight me, come on. Don't you dare fight me. This, like that. Eh, good enough. Or like this to that to this. Close enough. From here to here, over here to there. Almost flat across for not get the horizontal. Here, a little bit of shoulder. It's a good start, I'd say. A little bit weird on the rib cage. It's okay if it's not perfect, we can get an average from it. So once again, we're going to these, we're going to get rid of. You're going to make me select individually, aren't you? Better yet, take it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These. Just highlight the rest. I think we're missing anything there. Ah, wait, there is. Okay. If we're missing anything, it really messes everything up. Do another mirror move. This line. Apply it. Done. Whew. Our little bat's starting to shape up. Very crude, but it is. We're actually going to take these gaps instead. Not everything's connected over here. Do it a different way then. Move that mirror operation, and then we'll cut things out again. We're not gonna go all the way. Say maybe about like an inch in. Give it some texture. These guys' wings are pretty thin from what I remember. We don't even have to remember, we can just put a reference going. Yeah, not really a very good reference there. You can kind of see it on the tip here. Yeah, we've got a hat in there too. Very thin, very delicate. Take this, mirror it a whole different way. Just plain because everything is centered. We're starting to get the shape. Good. Definitely have to blend some more things together. Next step would probably be... Well, these veins aren't actually supposed to be this long now I think about it. That's one thing. Is that maybe this should actually be a lot thinner than what we're doing. Let's revise this once more, like an inch. I mean, at that point the bat looks a little thin, but we can block him out a bit more, so that's probably the next thing we should do too. Because we have a lot of this existing geometry, we can kind of just work with what we have. Here, we'll do it this way. Just pick the geometry we want at that point. Where are you? Right there. Here. Got a nice solid feature here. We only care about... Ooh, something's not connected there. Not connected here or there? Either. You're supposed to be connected. Redo that line then if you're not going to connect. There to there. Okay. Once more. There you go. Profile, good. Bring you out like half an inch. Probably on both sides even. We'll mirror this extrusion on this side. That's not the right plane. Want to mirror on this plane so it comes back a little bit too. So now we've got the wings in the center of the bat, and his body's thicker, but his wings are thinner. Good. Good, and we can actually even make those wings even thinner, I believe. Just do, like, a little more. Make him a little more delicate. Now, well, I'm not sure. Okay, so we're gonna look at this other bat reference. The other bat references we have. They definitely bone out a little bit. Oh, we already have that one. They definitely bone out a little bit. So they are transparent if you shine a light through it. But most of that structure is on the insides, but they're going to have a little bit of protrusion outwards when they're doing it. We'll take this, we'll say that's going down. Probably sketch on this plane a bit. Utilize this, utilize that. It's really just the points that are coming out. Just a little bit. We'll be able to round those more later on. Take you to you. We don't want it too much. We really don't want it half an inch. Ever so slightly raised, and we might end up making these a little more delicate. This being the front of the bat, this being the face, this being the back. It's not too bad. Alright, from this point we haven't done any saving either. So that would be good to save. So we're gonna do this as bat, animal. And we're not gonna finish this in one stream. I already know that the whole thing between the bat, the hat, the baseball bat, probably not happening today. This is a lot of trial and error that's going into this right now. Would be good to get general baddie features in there though. Let's start working on rounding out some of these harsh points. But, well, I mean, that'll work too. Pretty much everything's gonna need to fill it. Just little by little. Run that out too, because it's a little tough. There's maybe a little bit we can extrude out of there. See how we feel about this if we were to do this as like 0.5, just as a severe round. Maybe even more, to be honest. Might be good. Isn't the most efficient modeling, because I should have done this a little sooner. I should be able to mirror it again. Yeah, no problem. Don't think we can mirror it on the mid plane though. Oh yeah, that already looks a lot smoother. Good. Yeah, the back plane probably should have done that first. Here, we'll actually delete that extrusion so we can try once more. This and that. Get all the radiuses on the backside then. Extrude that out. Good to go. Yes, much nicer. We'll do the next round of this, which is going to be a lot smaller. Yeah, a lot smaller than that too. Just kinda realizing that this thing is not really... Yeah, come on, you know you can do that. Alright, if you're gonna be that way, we're going to actually change you really low. just so we can grab this radius. Yeah, some points are on the thinner side. That's not going to exactly work because of these little thin spots. We can fix that a little bit by making... well, unfortunately, I screwed myself there. So take the lock off of it. Just kind of... Ooh! No. Eh. Better off leaving it as is. Working with it. Which might have to be a little bit different about how we approach this. It's nice when they all line up too in that area. Just get the whole edge. Oh, Waz, how you doing, sir? 3D printing is definitely a possibility with these things. It's really just a matter of after you're done with it, if you save it in a certain format. I do not own a 3D printer, but it is definitely a thought for the future. Not cheap, unfortunately. Right, I already see that there's going to be a problem here. Oh, apparently there wasn't. So we'll keep going then. Once it turns green, there's usually an error. Yeah, we're just kind of trying something a little different today with some 3D modeling. I do this day in, day out at work, and it's something I'm decent at enough where I'd love to share it with everybody here. It looks similar to Revit. It is. This is Autodesk Inventor. Revit is similar. It's another 3D modeling system. All of them start to look the same after a while. It's really where your tools in your toolbox. The whole logic's the same. Autodesk, so I shouldn't be surprised. I got a free copy from work, so yeah, Autodesk Revit is... Yeah, there's some from the same product line from what I remember. You work with Revit at work heavily. Okay, good. So you're someone that works with spinning things around in weird angles then, I'm sure, too. Having to look at it from every freaking angle. Alright. A little softer. Is that gonna work, or are you gonna throw an error on me? Looks okay. We take off the... Oh, my view's not here. Unfortunately, I don't have everything set up the same way as at work. They just do shaded. Can't really see those lines. It looks pretty nice, but we'll keep the edges on for the time being. Oh, there is actually some fillets that I missed. It didn't generate. That's one. Usually it throws an error, so it's very strange that it just flat out didn't do it in some spots. It's definitely a new one. Get some of these top ones too if we can. Yes, we are taking on our good old friend Spanish Vanguard's challenge of doing a 3D bat. Their very first creative stream. It's also our first time using Pretzel for music. Let's see if that actually generates. Okay. 22 edges can't be. Okay, so we'll cancel that and we'll have to do it separately. Maybe we'll round it out a different way. Now, unfortunately, Autodesk is very much geared towards, or not Autodesk, Inventor itself. There's Autodesk, I think Maya is actually in the Autodesk family. Inventor, what I'm trying to say, doesn't really lend itself to organics as much. It does have face modeling and whatnot, so we'll try and play with that a little bit, but not sure how easy it would work out in Revit. Again, I'm not as experienced in Revit, but if it's anything like Inventor, it would probably work decent. You might have to brute force it a bit, like I'm kind of doing. Maya would probably be the best place to do this, because that's actually designed for like game designers, and you can flow a lot easier than you can in Inventor. But it also doesn't have a lot of libraries that Inventor has. Just trying to figure out how I want to continue the softening process. One thing I can do, I could take these fillets, and I believe I could just transfer them to the other side with a mirror if I place it well. No, maybe not. They come in too shallow. It's okay. But I accept a challenge. I'm convinced that you could still do something decently organic in Inventor. It just might not be as easy to do. And when it comes to these round edges here, it still feels too thick for a bat. For the wings. Like very, very thick for wings. Alright, that's a little better. Extruding and voids would be the way, not sure about fillets. Yeah, fillets work for general softening, but of course they have their limits, because if things clash, they're not gonna work. I'm guessing these are curved voids. I guess that's a way you could think about them. They're just kind of rounding out, putting a radius on the, where two planes meet at a line. I think it might be better to save this for when we go to try and surface model this in freeform. But I gotta figure out how I want to do ears on these guys, because they do have very cute little ears. Facial features and ears, that might be better modeling it. Well, I mean, everything's modeled here, let's be real. Yeah, not sure Revit can do fillets. I mean, if it can do sweeps, it can do fillets, because you just kind of sweep it's basically like sweeping a curve along the entire edge. Now, is Revit mainly a 2D or 3D modeling? Because as far as I knew, it was 3D. Alright, we'll start rounding out some of these edges instead of the actual body, because he's not going to be a thick boy. Seeing some errors already, though. Might not take. Might be due to these discontinuities. There. We'll try and fix those first. Soften them out ever so slightly just to get those discontinuities gone. That one's already continuous. Unfortunately, the way I started this out was relatively messy. That's already continuous, that's continuous. This isn't. That isn't. This is. That isn't. And that's already done. 15 of the 2 cannot be done. Okay. As long as you did a couple of them, and I can actually get a fillet around all of this. Doesn't bother me. No, you're not gonna let me do that in one, are you? The ones that failed are here. Maybe it has to be even smaller, like 0.3. Just something. No. You just don't want to have it, do you? It could do sweeps 3D, it's architecture, HVAC, plumbing, etc. in a 3D space. So we see all the walls, doors, windows, etc. and structures, so everything can be coordinated before it goes out to the field. Okay. So yeah, so you're still working in 3D space. In an environment like that, it doesn't sound like you would really have a big use for softening edges with fillets or even chamfers. So yeah, I can see that. Alright, so we know we can get this much going, and then it starts getting discontinuous here for some reason. But it works fine now. That is so strange that that was not working before, but now it is. Heavy, heavy. Alright, not too soft, huh? You only want to go so far with me. Okay. Well, no, that works, but I do need to continue the fillets on the other sides here. Anywhere there's discontinuities. That's not going to do anything in that one. Alright, it's a good start. And lamb, lamb. Yeah, it was probably because we were getting too... This is still going to be very, very rough right now. As long as we could start getting some curves in there, that's going to help in the future, I think. Should, anyway. Yeah, some architects get a little too excited and make things way too detailed. And that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid. I think this could be a good spot to start. I know not everything's softened up, but this could be a good spot to start playing around with... Hold on, let's see if I can... You're not going to let me select everything, are you? It's stupid. Do it this way, then. Invert all of these. Oh, you're not going to do it to me either. You're... Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. I really hope this doesn't lag out the stream, actually. Oh! Oh, wait for it to respond for a second. Dang. Okay. Yeah, that's one problem with inventors. It crashes very frequently, too. I might have gone too soft. Does it allow you to look at vertices? Yeah, you're able to. You're able to look at vertices. It really depends upon what view you want to look at. I mean, you should be able to get it. If you highlight it enough, you can still look at them for the most part. It's usually a setting that allows you to do it. What a fine mess you have here. I'm actually gonna try that one more time. It's gonna really screw everything up. I already know it. But I might have made it way too soft. But also the problem is that it's right now trying to do 4 faces in each direction, which obviously we have a lot more faces than that. And we'll see what happens. So yes, it's going to go through this black screen again. That looks nasty. We're going to have a very fine mesh, like 32. It might be too much to calculate. Wish I had a copy of 3D Studio Max. Can really do some nice stuff with it. It's really nice having this home copy, I'm not gonna lie. I might have to go a different route with this. Alright, we're gonna try something a little different. We're gonna say screw it to the softness on this. And maybe even on the wings here. We'll suppress it for now rather than get rid of it. I might have to undo a lot of softness in general, actually. Eeh. Yeah, I screwed myself by trying to make everything soft already. Because of all these dang curves, it's screwing me. Alright, well, save here so in case something happens, we can go back. We'll take off some of these big fillets that are screwing with us like this. Yes, it's going to mess with the extrusion. So it's going to get rid of the one in the back. Actually fixed it rather than got rid of it, so that's good. And we'll try one more time with trying to convert everything. As I said before, this is trial and error. I'm not used to working with organic models. But I believe the best way to go about it is to convert everything into this free form. Yeah, it's all these dang curves. So if I were to say okay to this, do they come out as all these curves still? Maybe. Just, yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's actually not what I wanted at all then, is it? It would really suck if if this entire route of modeling was actually not the correct route. Might just have to go with some very different modeling techniques then. We'll get rid of this and try it a different way. This is totally not turning organic anymore. I need a plane. I need a flat plane. A little bit higher. Take this plane, tangent right there. Use it as our working feature. So we'll have this. Nope, that's not quite where I wanted it to go. So if I cut it away, it's not exactly where I want it to go either. Try and... oh, I'm not even projecting anything. Okay. One more time. Never let it be said that I didn't try with this, at least. Especially if it doesn't come out super professional, but... like I said, I accept the challenge. Oh, nobody wants that. Okay, fine. Maybe we'll try it a different way. We'll go like this and this. If I put a point right where those two intersect, that should be considered area. As long as they don't move. That might work. Only surefire way to tell is if I were to close this. Probably even just make... oh wait, hold on. I don't actually need to close that. I forgot the whole point of why I was doing this. Was to curve the entire thing. Kind of like that. Just to profile it a bit more. What's not... okay, you're not considered... there. We'll see if that works. If I... now, none of those are closed loops. Okay. See if you can close it for me. Close the loop, please. No, it actually didn't close it. Okay. Oh, well, duh. Here's my first problem. Right there. Of course it's not going to see any profiles. There, well, one of them is. What am I missing with you? Lot, apparently. Maybe I could just project this entire... no, you're not going to let me do that. Alright, we'll try it a different way. Might have hit the right face by accident before. There we go. Both of those, I think an intersecting cut does not do what we want it to do. Actually, if anything, we're actually selecting the wrong profiles. You're not gonna let me... oh, because there's a missing bit here. Oh. Ooh, what is going on there? Oh, what is with this lag burst? Should not be having a problem with that. Nope, no problem there. Same problem here. The shot. That's... also, this is still not closed. Might be due to this. Why aren't you closed? Close the loop, please. During sketch environment, use sketch tools to resolve highlighted problem. Right. Well, how about before we go any further into this, we figure out if this is even worth our time. If it produces a result we're actually happy with. Kinda not really. I mean, yes, it's a little more curved. Is it perfect? No, probably not. I almost want to do another test with this converting faces thing. So it does not like round faces, no matter what. Curvature. Hey, wait a minute. This is interesting. What could that do? Welcome to the chat room. Did something happen to the chat room? Curvature. What does that mean when they're talking about the curvature on that? Oh, it's just faces that does this. That doesn't seem to work. I'm not really happy with how this whole curving attempt has been going with that. Might just have to accept the fact that it's not going to be a perfectly organic looking bat. That's another thing too, is that's still not curved at all up there. Definitely need more at that point. I can't handle that being so narrow when I'm removing material. Alright, there should be a locked orientation there and a locked one here. Probably get this tangent now. Problem. Just kind of thicken this a little bit as a cheat. Let's see if we can fill it this finally. Barely, but we can do it. Soften up the entire bat. You know that works. Don't even try and give me that. It's a little softer. Just the tiniest bit. If we turned off the edges, I need to change the color of this bat. Darker gray or something. Something that goes against the landscape a little better. It's not bad. The wings only, that is. Not the blocky body and torso. It's not too bad. Yeah, ironic part is this is something I've actually already gotten rid of once before, I think. At the top or the bottom? No, it's not what I'm going for. I'm going for the fillet that... Is it this one? It is. Oh, but it's at a later time. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to do it again. What size is that fillet? Not that one, the other one. Oh, that is the one that I was looking at. So this one was the lower one. Okay, it's the same size. Once more. On the back. Should be even smoother on the back. Hopefully. Except the successful ones. Just a couple edges didn't work on somewhere. Mirror it. Yeah, the wings profile-wise are looking a lot better when it comes to the spiny bits. Work on the wings a little bit more. What I might do, I might take this opportunity to put a very unique profile on the wings a little bit. I mean, they are... Or I could just make them a little bit thinner. Let's see. To make that a little bit thinner, does it mess everything up? No, because the thinner we get them, the better. We can thicken the body if we need to. Probably should, in fact. Which was... This is unfortunate, as I didn't actually label any of my... anything to do with this bat. Oh, make it 75. 3/4 inch. Got a little bit in the back to play with, too. Not bad. Take a save. Just double checking it actually did. Always save twice, that dang gamer instinct. Things are looking decent. I believe they should stay thick up here. So if I did do a fillet on them, wow. Double fillet takes that down way too far. If I did do a fillet, it would probably be just on one side. If it's even worth it. No, not that one. That's kind of messed up. This is purely experimental right now. Just to see how this works. Or how it looks, rather. What's this edge doing here? Not bad. We will be bending this bat later on to kind of give it that little more of a motion like it's going in flight. We're just trying to get that profile. Definitely wish I knew freeform a bit better. Quick time check. We're almost actually at the end of our time here, so we'll see how much further we can get going. This is today's long day, but it only lasts so long. Okay. So, I mean, I'm already happy with some of the progress we made today when it comes to the wings. The wings look pretty dang good. What I was trying to set out with, anyway. I do want to take a little bit of a stab at trying to bend these. Something like just really general. I think a really general line on here. Cut into that. Doesn't even need to be a center line, it could just be construction. Oh, we got both now. Hello. Trying something out here. That doesn't really need to be constrained any more than that. If we try the... Oh, where are you? Not revolve, sweep, and boss. Under modify. Ah, there it is. Bend part. So the bend line is here. This might be calculating that's totally the wrong way the bend is going. Change the bend direction. Yeah, we will be able to bend that fine. Angle will be something more like... I'm gonna call it like 60 degrees. Come on, work with me. I know there's a lot to compute with that. Oh, we'll just call it, yeah, we'll call it 60 degrees. And we'll say that the radius is more like 3. It gives it a lot more general bend. Maybe even more. It'll probably be halfway the distance of the wing at least, and then we'll start bending it on its back too. A little bit more. Maybe even just slightly more. Keep it nice and curved. It's not bad. Put it maybe at like a 75-degree angle. Once it calculates, good. Check it out. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking was going to happen with this bat. Awesome. So we know that when we have the actual detail and profiling of the bat down, we'll be able to get this nice, like, flapping look just by playing with that. For the time being, we're not doing that. I just wanted to confirm that with all these curves we're putting into this thing, that would actually be okay. But with that, unfortunately, that is the end of our time. I need to get some dinner going with me and the girlfriend, so that is where I leave you for today. It was a very fun stream. I enjoyed actually taking things a bit more on the creative side. Would definitely consider doing this again. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be next week. It might be a bit more impromptu, but I was enjoying this. I hope you all were enjoying this too. Thank you for sticking around, Owaz. I hope you found some good entertainment out of this as I did. But I will find someone a little less creative and a little more... Oh, we'll find out. A little more gaming-esque, of course, but what's the game to send you guys on and off to? So, we have a lot of options actually right now. Oh, okay. I know who I want to send you to. I want to send you to our favorite snack man, Fried Pizza Bites. He's doing some Stardew Valley. It's a sandbox game, so it's still a little bit more creative, but of course it's a video game and a little less design-oriented. So, oh, wait a minute. Scratch that. Hold on. He might be offline. Ah, he is offline. We will send you on over to someone else then. Darn Twitch raid thing is not really working anymore. How about we send you on over to Orda-san, who's doing some Tales of Vesperia. That sounds pretty good to me. I hope you guys think it sounds good too. Well, we're sending you on over to him, and that's all for today, and I will see you next week as we finish up Dust and continue more adventures. But until then, see you later.